You don't need a wall full of rifles to be ready for trouble. What you really need is gear that works every single time you shoulder it. Gear that doesn't choke when the weather turns ugly or the ammo stack starts running low. So today, we're digging into 8 budget rifles that regular preppers, not keyboard commandos, are actually buying in 2025. These aren't safe queens or Instagram flex pieces. These are the rifles that ride in truck boxes, live in barn corners, and get dragged through the kind of dirt that would make a high-end build cry. Some cost less than a weekend grocery run, and every one of them brings something to the table. Quiet hunting capability, ammo compatibility, rugged simplicity, or the kind of reliability you only appreciate when things go sideways. If you're trying to stretch your preparedness dollar, build a practical loadout, or just want a rifle that won't fail when nobody's coming to save you, this lineup is going to make your life a whole lot easier. Number 8. Hi-Point 995 TS Carbine. When folks talk about budget rifles, this one always gets a laugh, right up until it outworks gear that costs triple the price. The Hi-Point 995 TS Carbine is the definition of ugly but unstoppable. It's a straight blowback 9mm carbine built like a chunk of farm equipment, and that's exactly why preppers keep grabbing it in 2025. You're looking at a street price that usually sits between $250 and $330. And for that money, you get a tool that shrugs off mud, rain, and neglect. The polymer furniture isn't fancy, but it's tough. The heavy bolt soaks up recoil, and the simple design means almost nothing can go wrong in the field. If it does, parts are cheap and easy to replace. The real magic is logistics. 9mm is everywhere, and stocking a few hundred rounds won't break your budget. Inside realistic prepper distances, think 50 to 70 yards, you'll get repeatable hits and a bit more punch than a handgun thanks to the longer barrel. It's not a long-range rifle, and it's not pretending to be. It's a problem solver for close and mid-range tasks when you're counting every dollar. For a no-nonsense, low-maintenance carbine that'll keep running when fancier rifles throw tantrums, the 995 TS earns its spot on this list. Number 7. Marlin Model 60. Some rifles earn their reputation over decades, not marketing campaigns. The Marlin Model 60 is one of those quiet legends that preppers keep circling back to in 2025. It's a tube-fed .22 LR that's been feeding families, clearing pests, and training new shooters since your grandfather's era. And the modern versions still punch way above their price tag. Most Model 60s ring in under $200, sometimes less if you catch a sale. For that, you get a slim, lightweight rifle with a surprisingly smooth action and a trigger that settles in nicely once it's broken in. The 16-round tube magazine means fewer reloads while you're working a line of varmints or teaching kids how to run fundamentals without fumbling detachable mags. What makes the Model 60 so prepper-friendly is how forgiving it is. It'll chew through most decent .22 loads with minimal drama, and field maintenance is dead simple. Keep the feed throat clean, wipe the bolt after a long day, and this rifle will give you season after season of consistent accuracy. Expect solid groups at 50 yards and predictable point of impact with common ammo. No, it's not modular like a Ruger 1022. And that's fine. This gun is about practicality, not vanity builds. If you want a low-cost rimfire that just works, quietly, reliably, and without demanding attention, the Marlin Model 60 earns its place in any prepper's stash. Number 6. Savage Model 64. There's something reassuring about a rifle that doesn't need pampering. The Savage Model 64 is that kind of workhorse. A rimfire that preppers in 2025 keep grabbing because it delivers solid performance without draining the wallet. It's a straight-shooting, blowback-operated .22 LR that stays reliable as long as you give it the occasional wipe-down and feed it halfway decent ammo. Most configurations land between $150 and $220, making it one of the most affordable semi-auto rimfires worth trusting. The 21-inch barrel gives you a little more velocity than shorter options, and the rifle balances well, especially in the lightweight synthetic stock. The 10-round detachable magazine drops free cleanly. A small detail, but it matters when you're running drills or clearing pests around the property. In real-world use, The Model 64 holds its own. With CCI or federal loads, it'll burn through several hundred rounds before it even hints at a hiccup. Bulk ammo may give you the occasional stovepipe, that's rimfire reality, but routine cleaning every few hundred rounds keeps it humming. Expect 2-inch groups at 50 yards from field positions with decent ammunition. It's not trying to be a tactical rimfire or a modular platform, it's simply a dependable, utilitarian rifle. For preppers who want something cheap to feed, easy to maintain, and reliable enough for daily chores, the Savage Model 64 checks every box without pretending to be anything more than it is. Number 5. Mossberg Maverick 88. If there's one gun on this list that absolutely refuses to die, it's the Mossberg Maverick 88. Preppers in 2025 keep grabbing this pump shotgun for one simple reason. It does almost everything you need in a crisis without costing more than a couple tanks of gas. It's the budget cousin of the Mossberg 500, built on the same dual extractor, steel-to-steel lockup that's earned decades of trust. Most Mavericks hit shelves at under $250, and at that price, you're getting a 12-gauge work tool that shrugs off abuse. Rain, dust, mud, pump it, and it runs. Birdshot for pests, buckshot for defense, slugs when you need reach. A single shotgun gives you a flexibility that no budget rifle can match. That's why seasoned preppers keep at least one 12-gauge in the kit, no matter what their main rifle is. The Maverick's controls are simple, the action is forgiving, and the aftermarket is massive. Swap stocks, change barrel lengths, add a light, tune the recoil pad. You can configure this shotgun for almost any role. Sure, the recoil can thump new shooters, and it's no long-range tool, but inside realistic survival distances, a 12-gauge is devastating and reliable in a way that doesn't require pinpoint marksmanship. If you need a do-everything, low-maintenance powerhouse that works outside the comfort of a clean gun bench, the Maverick 88 earns its place in any prepper stash. Number 4. Ruger 1022. Takedown. When mobility matters, you need a rifle that disappears into a pack without giving up reliability. And that's where the Ruger 1022 Takedown steps ahead of the rest. Preppers in 2025 keep choosing this rifle because it blends classic rimfire dependability with true grab-and-go portability. Break it in half, stash it in a backpack, and you've got a lightweight survival tool that never gets in the way until you need it. Most takedown packages run between $289 and $359, and the value you get for that price is huge. The action is the same rock-solid design the 1022 is known for. Reliable cycling, forgiving maintenance, and the most expansive aftermarket ecosystem of any rimfire on the market. Optics, barrels, triggers, stocks, mags. You can tailor this rifle to anything from training sessions to stealthy small-game runs. What makes the takedown version shine for preppers is consistency. Separate the halves, snap them back together, and your zero stays put when you're using quality mounts. At 50 yards, expect tight 1 to 2-inch groups with decent ammo, and the rifle stays accurate enough for clean headshots on small game within realistic ranges. That makes it a go-to tool when you need food without broadcasting your presence. If your survival plan values stealth, logistics, and the ability to move quickly, the Ruger 1022. Takedown is one of the smartest budget rifles you can carry. It's light, efficient, and brutally practical. Exactly what a prepper rifle should be. Number 3. Kel-Tec Sub-2000. A good prepper rifle isn't just about power, it's about logistics. And the Kel-Tec Sub-2000 is one of the smartest logistical tools you can add to your kit in 2025. This lightweight, folding pistol-caliber carbine packs down small enough to live in a backpack, truck compartment, or bug-out bag, yet unfolds into a surprisingly capable rifle that shares magazines with the handgun you already carry. Most Sub-2000 variants float in the $400 to $500 range depending on configuration, and that money buys you simplicity. The straight blowback action is rugged and low maintenance. The polymer furniture keeps weight down around 4.5 pounds, and the 16-inch barrel wrings extra velocity out of your 9mm or 40S and W-DAOs. That extra speed matters when you're stretching shots to realistic prepper distances. Think 50 to 100 yards. The biggest advantage? Magazine commonality. If you're running a Glock pattern pistol, you can standardize your entire defensive loadout around one set of mags. That's huge when supply lines get thin or when you're trying to cut down the number of calibers you keep on hand. The Sub-2000 isn't a long-range rifle, and it isn't meant to be. It's a compact, quiet-shooting, space-saving carbine built for close or mid-range problem-solving. For preppers who want a carbine that sips ammo, folds away cleanly, and keeps their logistics streamlined, the Sub-2000 is hard to beat. It's clever engineering wrapped in a lightweight package, and that's exactly why it lands so high on this list. Number 2. Ruger PC Carbine. Some rifles make the list because they're cheap. Others make it because they solve real problems. The Ruger PC Carbine does both, and that's why preppers in 2025 keep buying it faster than stores can restock. This is a 9mm pistol caliber carbine built for rugged field use, and it hits a sweet spot almost no other budget-friendly rifle touches. Street prices usually run in the $450 to $600 range, but what you get for that money is serious capability. First, the takedown system. Just like the 10-22 takedown, you can split the PC Carbine in half in seconds, making it a perfect pack gun or truck gun. Second, magazine compatibility. Swap the magwell, and you can run Glock pattern mags, the same ones your everyday carry pistol uses. In a preparedness mindset, standardizing gear is gold. The blowback style action is overbuilt on purpose, giving you a robust, reliable cycle even when the rifle gets dirty. Recoil is mild, accuracy is better than most folks expect, and at 50 to 100 yards, the PC Carbine hits with a level of consistency that makes it ideal for defense, pest control, and tight-range hunting tasks. It's also suppressor-friendly, which is a huge bonus for stealth-focused preppers. It's not a long-range performer, and it isn't as light as some competitors, but for a durable, modular, mag-compatible carbine that slides neatly into a backpack, the Ruger PC Carbine stands tall. It brings together practicality, reliability, and logistics. The exact trifecta preppers look for when choosing gear they'll depend on. Number 1. Rossi RS-22. A lot of folks overlook rimfires when they start building a prepper kit, and that's a mistake. The Rossi RS-22 has proven, over and over again, that a lightweight semi-auto 22 LR can be one of the most valuable rifles you own when supplies tighten or when you need quiet, efficient firepower that won't drain your ammo reserve. The RS-22 is one of the best true budget rifles on the market, usually selling for around $170 to $200 in 2025. For that tiny price, you get a 4.3-pound carbine with an 18-inch barrel, adjustable fiber optic sights, and a 10-round box magazine that feeds reliably when you're running quality ammunition. The simple blowback action is easy to maintain. And field stripping doesn't require special tools, perfect for long-term survival scenarios. Where the rifle really shines is efficiency. A brick of 22 LR weighs almost nothing and lets you train daily, hunt small game quietly, and stretch your supply far further than any centerfire rifle ever could. With CCI Minimags, or Federal Automatch, the RS-22 cycles like a sewing machine. Keep the chamber clean every few hundred rounds, and you'll see consistent 2-inch groups at 50 yards, even from field positions. That kind of precision makes all the difference when small game becomes dinner instead of target practice. It's not built for long-range fights or big-game hunts, and it doesn't need to be. This rifle earns the #1 spot because it delivers unmatched value, logistics, and reliability for preppers who understand that survival isn't about glamour. It's about efficiency, silence, and smart resource management. For a true prepper multiplier, the RS-22 sits at the top for a reason. At the end of the day, staying prepared isn't about how fancy your gear looks. It's about choosing tools you can trust when the world stops giving you second chances. These 8 rifles aren't status symbols, and they're not meant to impress anybody at the range. They're practical, affordable, and proven by real preppers who actually put their equipment through dirt, rain, cold, and long days in the field. Whether you're stocking a bug-out bag, building a homestead loadout, or just trying to stretch every dollar without sacrificing reliability, these rifles give you options that won't leave you stranded. Pick the platform that fits your mission, put in the reps, and make sure your logistics, ammo, mags, spare parts, are squared away before you need them. Thanks for rolling with me on this breakdown. Make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay sharp.